This is the truth about YouTube and why we get involved, because it is just an injustice to many people. YouTube, the public platform for all people to be seen, and I'm afraid that these days it is virtually impossible to start your own channel, and it doesn't matter if you're bothered about money like we aren't or anything. You just wanted to raise awareness like we did. It's just not possible, because what it says is those that were young enough and had the know-how from the start, they have dominated YouTube for a long time, and even though their material has become stale and stagnant, they have to start making the news, just like people like Mike Zero and that Doom Cock, or as I say, Do Mo Cock, Do More Cock, is just there collecting people who are silly enough to believe all the stories and give them money, give them views. Now, if that was taken away from them, do you think they would still be doing it? And that goes for most of the YouTubers. And no, I am not one of those normal YouTubers. I know that. And the reasons why is because I would rather do something with my life and get a job and sit around like some fat, ignorant, living in the basement of a mother's house kind of person like Mike Zero and Doom Cock, who have basically just given fake news, clickbait, and all these keywords just to get views, and already done a parody of Mike Zero, you can see, and this is true exactly what it's saying on that video. He posts about 10 times a day and the content doesn't change. And I watched that along with some colleagues, do you know what I mean? And it was truly mind-numbing, repeating himself. And did I say that YouTube is now just a real viral virus, and if you want to start a channel these days you can't? Oh yeah, I did already say that, but it's stuff like that I'll just keep repeating in every video. So you know what, I might just post this 10 times to see the result, because people need to know. And the thing is that YouTube have got themselves into such a corner that they have to pay out so much. Now there's that many adverts. Watching just one 10-minute video, you can now see 3 to 4 adverts in one 10-minute video. And it doesn't matter if it's a step-by-step video, whether he's disarming a bomb and he's about to tell you that, oh, you need to switch this way, and then it comes on, do you know what I mean? Some use that would be, or whether it's cooking or whatever, do you know what I mean? And but the weirdest thing is, I love music and watching a concert and singing along there, and then it's all eventually start Gramley, Steve for you. I don't want to know about Gramley, do you know what I mean? There is well, I always write normal anyway, but there is like a certain language, way of writing people write on the internet anyway. So even when I'm writing, I've got Gramley telling me that your words are wrong. Well, I know they're wrong, because that is the way I put it. Because sometimes when you're on Twitter and you've only got a certain amount of characters, you have to. So Gramley can go and fuck off. And it's all, and just notice how some of the adverts are always linked to something that you like, apart from Grammarly. My interests like, you know, music and stuff like that. We all need to meditate to something calming. And what do we get bombarded with is music lessons and these music apps making music and stuff like that, and all the time. I mean, Google clearly not doing anything about it, but then where still is that on top of these YouTube original hoggers, there is now the ABCs, BBCs, WWEs, and the celebrities that are now on Facebook when they've got their own platform. So why are we having to be put through all these adverts? Now, okay, I know it's normal in the United States to have adverts every 5 minutes, but for the rest of the world, we have strict regulations on capitalism. And them regulations tell us that, like, we are not bombarded with, you know, products all the time, begging you to buy it because it's the new thing. And especially adverts of the same kind on, you know, on this one car or a phone and another phone. It's confusing. Especially if you're actually thinking of buying a phone, and all of them are saying it's the best. But that's the capitalist disease that's spread around the world, and it's shown nothing but greed, as YouTube is just a perfect example of that. Now, like some in my community, they have sought out these how to get more views, how to get your videos seen. Now I can tell you, after looking at a few myself, that these are all lies. And I'm not going to tell you that, I will tell you away, because I can't even work out which ones are actually, you know, got a little bit of reality to it, or if they are all just complete lies. They all say that I will be the first one to tell you the actual real way of doing it. And they always start with something like that. As if like, so you're saying that all the rest aren't real. And then they'll always come up with an example. Well, this Mr. Price, look, started with 0 views and now he gets 2 million in just 2 weeks. Wow. It's like the diet of YouTube. Yeah, the super diet. Lose this amount, but YouTubers gain this amount. Yeah, gain this amount of greed. And once someone actually makes a platform which can compete against YouTube, then go there. Especially if they're not filling it up with wasteless rubbish. I mean, people in our community, and I've been searching for like advice for certain things, whether it's computers, music, anything, and out of the massive search list, they click through them, even though it's got an English title, and then it's actually foreign. So why are you seeing it in, you know, non-English and English-speaking countries? It doesn't make any sense. But YouTube allows it. But what YouTube don't allow is videos like this and some of our other videos that tell the truth on many things. They soon delete them. So if you're watching this, you're very lucky that it stayed up. And I think it probably is why the title. And a lot of our videos that go into depth with real issues and real truths are put that way for that reason. So you can get by. Some of them have been done with computer voices, in fact. But hey, if you're trying to get a message of awareness out there, then if that is what you strive to do in life, I don't care about, you know, money or nothing like that. It's more about bringing awareness to a cause, a worthy cause. Especially if it's about thousands the children that die every day in Africa for lack of clean water, when most people just take it for granted. And 3.1 million die from just the basic needs of water and food, and malaria, which can easily be solved with just nets. Now, how much is that? And then you've got, especially in America, hundreds of billionaires that just sit there living off the interest of the ill-gotten earnings. And what it does, it causes issues, it causes jealousy, it causes anger and hate. And that is why you get the riots and things like that happening in America right now. But more on that in another video, because that goes into a whole new depth. But what I would do, and this, I'm not telling you, this is what a friend of mine told me to do. Well, told me that what he does is basically either use a YouTube ad blocker, or even better, so they don't even get the views, is just search for what you want, use a YouTube downloader, go down the list. You don't even have to click the video on. Just right click, copy the link address into the downloader, and there's many of them around. Wondershare do them, there's the actual YouTube downloader, and you know what? You can now watch that documentary or video, or, you know, whatever it is, in peace. Do you know what I mean? Without no adverts. Because they're annoying, especially when you're watching something for 30 minutes and it's got, 4 adverts for every 10 minutes. Now, in the UK or Great Britain, I like to refer to it, adverts are for all of our programmes and our programmes like every 15 minutes. Now, the difference is things like WWE Raw, for instance. Apparently it goes on in the States for about 4 hours, but the actual show is only 2.25 hours long. So you see there's an hour or so of just adverts. And that's the sort of world that we are allowing to happen. Well, not we are trying to stop it and stop many of it. Many of the greed, many of these ways that are just conning people, just like online gambling, which will be in another video. They're just cons. How people can really, truthfully trust a computer that can only work given a program, as it cannot randomly pick a number, a card or a suit, because it only knows zeros and ones. So how does it do it? Simply because it just goes for the one that is the least amount of loss. Because so there's always a winner, but not as much. Because if there's someone on one who's they're about to lose £2 million, and there's one person who's just going lose them a tenner, it'll always go on the one person who's going to lose them a tenner, and that's how it works. And that's will be in a whole separate video where we speak to the Japanese about that. But I'm going off topic now. But that is the best thing to do. And please start doing something about it. If you do not like the system, do something. This is why I'm doing this. I don't know how far it'll get me, but leave comments and add and keep mentioning YouTube. Why is YouTube allowing this? Why is YouTube allowing that to happen? Why is YouTube having celebrities who have got their own shows on their own platforms dominate on a public platform, basically getting paid twice for the show that they're already getting paid for? Does that make any sense? When there's a lot of lost talent that never gets seen because of these YouTubers from the beginning that just feed you just pure BS, fake news. And then there's the big corporations that just jumped on the bandwagon like they always do, and everything. And so that is why starting a channel is literally impossible to do. And even no matter how good your talent is, I'm afraid unless you can do something that will actually feature in the search, you can actually even do this. Put the title of your video and then go and search for it. And we did this and tried it about 3 or 4 times, and we even used titles that weren't even real words. And you know what? It still did not feature in the top 20 videos. So that just goes to show that YouTube will favour these old YouTubers and these big corporations before anyone else, no matter what the talent is, no matter what their cause is, no matter what their message is. They will not get heard much, maybe like this, but at least I'm trying to do something about it. And YouTube will keep carrying on. The more and more it has to shell out, the more and more you'll have videos, adverts in your videos. And it comes to the point where they do triple adverts. The one where you can't skip, that has to play out first, and then the one that you can skip. Because you have to pay out so much. And what they're paying out for is big corporations who have already got their own platforms, and YouTubers that have run that stale that they have to, just like Mike Zero and Doomcock, invent Star Wars news. And that starts fans turning against it. Turning against the Jedi, the real Jedi, and the Templars, back to the ancient Egyptian schools. That is in another video. But this is just about the truth, which I will tell you the truth, as many of them will say. And look, have you noticed one thing in this video? That all of the videos nearly I've already done by now. Have you noticed one thing I haven't done? One, that just goes to show that I'm doing it not for the money, but just to tell the truth. Just like all my videos. That's what they're there for. But some will find them, some won't. That is just a part of being on YouTube. It's designed to keep you on here. So you're going to be always looking for what you're looking for. And when you, most of it is just pure rubbish. And if you don't want to use them methods I've just said, then why don't you just scroll down from at least 100 videos down that search and then start looking there? Because guaranteed that's where you will find the best and truthful videos. And that's been the truth about YouTube. So I hope you take it in and leave a comment saying how much you despise this platform for what it's doing.